Okay, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me here. Ready? Um, I am going to walk you through real quick this marketing plan. And like I said, it's very similar to the reason why I want to talk about branding at the very beginning. I kind of want you to see a marketing plan at the very beginning. I will revisit this as we go through some other chapters because you'll start to see like pieces that you learn a little bit more about. Part of this week's assignment is a SWOT analysis. And so that's part of why we do this at the beginning is because it's a SWOT analysis is a way that brands look at their product or their company in terms of strategic planning. And they do that to identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, to be able to identify things they need to work on and then things they need to look ahead to. So the example I always use is Blockbuster. If Blockbuster had done a SWOT analysis, they would have seen an opportunity for streaming of online videos and streaming of movies. And they would have said, oh, we need to get away from this, like come into the brick and mortar store and rent a movie from us and go from there. They would say, okay, we have to get into people's homes and have it be on demand. And that's how we all know, and that's how all things work. My dog is very annoying. I'm sorry. Stop. He's really cute, though. You want to see him? Maybe he wants to come to class today. I don't know. But I want you to see this marketing plan so that you know what a marketing plan looks like. We're talking about marketing. You need to see what a marketing plan looks like. There is no format. There is no right way or wrong way to do this. This is kind of a funny one to me, but I use it because it's the Blockbuster model, but it works in different contexts, and we'll unpack this as we go. But for the purpose of today, we're not going to talk a ton about the why and like all the in-depth stuff. We're not going to read it word for word, but I would just want you to look at what a marketing plan looks like. So here you have an introduction. So who are we? This is an independent video business where you go in and you find like movies that you can't find anywhere else. They do a SWOT analysis. They look at their strengths, their weaknesses, their opportunities, and their threats. They define their target market. So when I teach communications classes, I tell them the cardinal, golden, most important thing, the first question you ever ask is, who is your audience? And that is very similar to what happens in marketing. Remember, I said marketing aims to meet consumer wants and needs and to add benefit to consumers. Well, if you don't know who your consumer is, how are you going to do that? So here we are, and I want you to ask yourself in any situation, who's your target market? So most marketing plans will include some sort of audience analysis, some sort of target market, something to tell you who we are talking to. I speak to my 85-year-old grandmother differently than I speak to you. I speak to you differently than I speak to my children because my kids are crazy and they don't like to listen. And y'all are much better, but you're smarter than my kids, trust me. But I can change my voice, I can change my tone, I change my messages based on who I'm talking to. Same thing goes for here. If I was selling Lamborghinis, guess what? My target market is different than somebody who's selling tennis shoes at the mall. You speak differently to that person. That's a different type of investment. And so a lot of times your target market will lead you to what we call our communication channels or our marketing channels. This plan goes into a target market broadly, and then it looks at geographics, demographics, psychographics, behaviors, all of these things. And so we'll unpack that a little bit as we go. I don't want you to get too bogged down in it. Remember, this is just an overview for now. But then every plan has an objective and a goal. You kind of have to know how you're doing and how well you're doing in order to be able to measure success. You can't measure it if you don't know how you're doing or you don't know what metrics you're looking at. So most marketing plans have some sort of objective. You heard me speak very briefly about the 4 Ps. That's the price, the place, the product, and the promotion of a product or an item of anything. And so their marketing mix, this is what their marketing mix looks like. I encourage you to read that. That'll give you kind of a clue into what the 4 Ps are and what that looks like. It talks about marketing research, and then they have a strategy and a summary. So this is just a marketing plan. Take a little bit of time, 5 minutes, read through it so you kind of know and get your wheels turning about where we're headed. So thanks for tuning in, guys.